All right, so welcome to video number 2, which we're going to be talking about sales automation. I'm also going to be showing you guys exactly the sales process and where you guys are leaving a lot of money on the table, which I already sketched it all out here for you. But before I jump into today's video, I just want to recap. Yesterday we talked about selling solar via online meeting, because you're going to be able to sell more jobs. You're going to have to driving around all day. You're going to have to meet with homeowners in the weekends. You're literally going to be able to get your time freedom back and sell more jobs and make the kind of money that you deserve selling via online meeting, right? So today we're going to be talking about automation, and I'm going to show you guys exactly where there's holes in your sales process and how we could fix it and automate some of those holes so you don't leave money on the table ever again. So basically, I created your sales process here, and right on the top is all of your lead generation activities, whether you're doing tabling events, door knocking, cold calling, whatever that may be. It falls right down into the funnel, right? So the first thing in that funnel is you want to be able to schedule the meeting with a homeowner, because not every single lead that you get is going to give you an actual day and time when they want to meet, right? So for the most part, you're going to get maybe their full name, their email, and their phone number, and you're going to have to follow up to get the homeowner on your calendar, right? So this is where we're at in the process right now. So basically, when you get that lead, you may be able to follow up one time, right? Whether that's within a week, and maybe you're going to be able to follow up twice, whether the second week or whatnot. But what happens is this homeowner is eventually going to get forgotten, and they're going to fall off, right? And what's going to happen is you're going to end up losing this homeowner, right? Because they're either going to be forgotten because you got just a whole bunch of other leads to take care of, or you just flat out forgot about them. I'm going to show you a way to get them on your calendar, right? So you never lose them ever again. So basically, when you have a scheduled consultation, more than likely you're probably calling the homeowner just to make sure that they're going to be home during the consultation, right? So you don't want to drive all the way over there only to find out that they're not home, right? So what you normally do, what I used to do, is I call a homeowner. Mr. Homeowner, are you going to be available tomorrow for our consultation? If they say yes, awesome. We go ahead and have the meeting, which is right here. But some homeowners say, you know what, James, I'm sorry, something came up, we have to reschedule, which ends up right over here, right? So let's talk about the reschedule first, right? So you may be good at following up one time, right? Or maybe even good at following up with a homeowner twice, or maybe once, or maybe 2 weeks. You're going to be able to follow up with a homeowner. Then eventually, just like the other leads, you're going to forget, right? Because more leads are going to come in, which is going to be so-called more hot. So you're going to focus on those, and you're eventually going to forget about these leads that you have here that wants to reschedule, right? So that's another area where you're actually losing homeowners. So here's another area where you're actually losing homeowners. So now we identified 2 areas in the sales process where we're losing homeowners, and we haven't even got to the sales part yet, right? So now you go ahead and have the consultation with a homeowner, right? So there's 2 things that happens there. The first thing that happens is you sell the job, right? Which is 20% of our sales, right? Meaning that 20% of the time when you're sitting there with a homeowner, it's going to sell, right? You're going to sell the homeowner is going to sign a contract, and you're going to move forward, right? So what happens is after you sell the job, more than likely you send out emails or phone calls to get the documentations, and after you get the documentations, the systems gets installed, right? So what happens though if the homeowner says maybe, right? This is the biggest part, or the biggest chunk where we're leaving a lot of money on the table, is the maybe, let me think about it, right? Because you may be good at following up maybe for 1 week, maybe good at following up for 2 weeks, but what ends up happening is you forget about them and the homeowner falls off, right? So this is another area where you're losing homeowners, and it's a really critical area, because 80% of your leads are in the maybes, let me think about it, right? So what happens is we get more leads and we're like, you know what, these are hotter. It goes through our sales process, and what happens is we sell it, which is 20% of our sales, and we'll leave a lot of money on the table, which is the maybe, let me think about it, which is 80% of our sales. So what we really need to focus is in this area right here, right? And if you haven't thought of this before, right, hopefully you're getting like an aha moment, like, oh darn, right? Because now we have identified 3 different areas where you're leaving a lot of money on the table. And if you're able to capitalize and automate some of the sales process, whether it's following up with homeowners to get them on your calendar, or rescheduling homeowners, or even the maybes, if you're able to automate that sales process, you're gonna grow your business, you're gonna make more money, right? Hopefully this is starting to sink in, you're starting to realize like, oh my gosh, right? I'm leaving a lot of money on the table, because a typical sales consultant, right, is selling here, right? That's what we're focusing in. We're focusing in the 20% area, right? Which is not much, right? If you look at your paycheck, it represents this right here, 20% of your sales. But for the guys that are crushing it, that's really crushing it out of the field, they're focusing here, but they're focusing more on the back end sale, right? Which is 80% of your business. So this is what we're gonna do, right? So let's go back to the sales process. You put leads in the system, right? Now you're trying to schedule the homeowner for a consultation. You follow it once, you follow it twice, you end up losing a homeowner, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna automate this process by sending emails. We're gonna send automated emails to this homeowner to get them to move forward with a consultation, right? So we're gonna send as many emails as we want until we get the homeowner to commit to a consultation. And keep in mind, this is all automated, right? You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about, you know what, did I send an email last week to, you know, Jane Doe? Did I send one to Steven? This is gonna be all automated. And the call to action of those emails is to schedule a consultation, which is gonna be right over here, right? And I'm also gonna show you how you can attach a link on every single email. So what they're gonna do is click that link, and they're gonna be able to schedule a consultation right in your personal calendar, right? So you'll know that, you know what, Jane actually scheduled a consultation because of these email sequences that I've been sending her, right? So this is, I mean, hopefully this is getting you excited, right? Because every time I talk about this stuff, it really gets me excited, right? This is what separates the guys that are making real money to the guys that are making no money at all, right? So if you can see right then and there, if you can even just capitalize on a small percentage of the leads that are not being scheduled on your calendar, you can see how much more money or commissions you're gonna make by getting them on your calendar, because you worked hard to get this lead, right? You don't want them just to fall off because you forgot, which is pretty much human nature, right? We can't remember everyone, especially once you start having a big pipeline. It's going to be very hard to keep track of every single homeowner, right? So let's go ahead and move forward, move down to the sales process. So we went ahead and scheduled the meeting. So we confirmed the meeting, but the homeowner wants to reschedule the meeting, right? So now we're into the rescheduling a meeting, right? Because what happens is, like I said, you may be good at following up once, maybe twice, and then what happens is the homeowner, eventually just falls off, right? We forget. So we're gonna do the exact same thing. We're gonna send this homeowner that wanted to reschedule a meeting an automated email. And we can send as many emails as we want to get this homeowner back on our calendar so we can actually get them back into the consultation, right? Eventually, we want to get in front of this homeowner that wanted to reschedule, right? Because like I said, we may be good at following up a couple of times, but eventually they will get forgotten, right? So now we identified 2 areas, right? Where we can actually capitalize on more money, right? Imagine getting these homeowners that already committed, that were on your calendar, but just something came up, back onto your calendar, and also, you know, have a consultation with them. Now you're having a face-to-face consultation with the homeowner that rescheduled, right? And keep in mind, this is all automated, right? And the last part, which is the biggest chunk of our money, right? You already had a consultation with them. The homeowner said maybe, right? Let me think about it. So for the most part, we're really good at following up for a week, maybe 2 weeks, and eventually we lose them because we forget about them, right? We forget about them because we have more leads coming in, and we want to sell to these leads. We're like, you know, I can't worry about this guy because he's not moving forward. I got to focus on the ones that are ready that want to move forward, which is right here, the 20%, right? We just end right back here at the 20%. And, you know, if you look at your paycheck, it's probably representing this 20%, right? And if you're killing it out there, you're probably tapping into this 80%. So now we're going to be able to follow up with a homeowner via email, right? We're going to continuously follow up with a homeowner until they move forward. So we never lose them to a competitor ever again, right? Obviously, these emails, we're not just going to ask them, hey, Mr. Homeowner, are you ready to move forward yet? Are you ready to move forward? Obviously, we're going to be giving this homeowner value added information, right? We're going to give them maybe some news articles on global warming. Maybe we're going to give them news articles on the benefits of solar. Maybe we're going to give them some news on maybe you got some technology that just came out. So we're going to give this homeowner all the pertinent information, so something's going to resonate with one of these emails. They're going to say, you know what? I want to move forward now, right? I want to move forward with solar because I read this article or whatnot, right? So eventually something will resonate with these emails, and boom, sold, right? That's the idea, to get them to a maybe, to get them to a buying customer, right? And if you don't have an automated system to get them from a maybe to a sold, then they're just gonna fall off, right? You're gonna continuously sell to the 20%, and you're gonna leave a ton of money on the table, right? Because you're just gonna focus on the new leads that's coming in, which is so-called hotter. You're gonna sell a system. The 80% is gonna fall in the maybes, and they're gonna be forgotten, right? Maybe you'll be able to sell a couple of those in the maybe section. But if you don't have an automated system to follow up with the homeowners, you're definitely gonna lose them. So basically, we identified 3 areas in your sales process that needs to be improved. And if you can improve in these 3 areas, obviously you're gonna make more sale, you're gonna make more commissions if you can somehow automate this sales process. So hopefully that is getting you guys excited, right? Like I said, every time I talk about automation, it gets me super excited because this is the same strategy that helped me become one of the top solar sales consultants in the nation, right? This is how I literally blew it out of the water. And a lot of people were thinking like, you know what, was it because you had more leads? Maybe James has a ton of leads, maybe a secret, lead stash that I go to. Not necessarily, right? Not necessarily, because if you can't even focus on the leads that you currently have in your pipeline, you basically don't need any more leads, right? You need to flush out everything in the system and sell to the 80%, homeowners, and then you could get more leads, right? Because the more leads you get, obviously you're gonna make more sales, but if you're not focusing on the maybes, you're gonna be selling here, right? You're gonna be sitting in the 20%, and selling there, and your paycheck it's not gonna reflect on your paycheck, right? So you wanna make sure that you're selling at 20% and you're also tapping into the 80%, which is the back-end sales process, right? So hopefully that's making some sense, but if not, don't worry about it, because video number 4, I'm going to show you exactly how you could put this all together, right? But hopefully the idea is for you to have the gist and to see like the possibilities if you were able to implement some of these strategies, right? So hopefully you guys are seeing that, you guys are getting excited, because this can literally turn your solar business around. It's a really, really powerful strategy, really, really powerful tool that no one in the industry is using. So that concludes video number 2 on automation. Tomorrow, video number 3, we're going to be talking about lead generation, which is super, super cool as well. Who doesn't want to learn about, getting solar leads, right? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure every single person, even yourself, wants to learn how you can get premium solar leads literally on demand. So keep an eye out for video number 3 tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Goodbye for now.